Hey, hope you're doing fine. This is Eva and you're watching The Casual Bit. In today's video, we'll talk about Facebook's new digital currency called Libra. They say it is a cryptocurrency, but technically it is not. And that makes the whole difference. So why it is not a pure cryptocurrency, I will tell you quickly in few points. But the bigger question is, what is the long-term purpose behind Facebook introducing Libra, where we already have Paytm, China has its WeChat, other nations have PayPal. So there's a lot to know about Facebook's Libra, and if you believe in corporatocracy, that's corporate and conspiracy, then make sure to watch the video till the end and let's get into it. So now before jumping towards the long-term plan of Facebook behind introducing Libra, let's have a look at the difference between basic cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Facebook's Libra, which is not a pure form of cryptocurrency. And why so? Well, number one, decentralization. See, Bitcoin is not controlled by anybody. No reserve bank, no government, no individual, like nobody. It's us who are involved in the blockchain technology and verify every transaction, and by the way of mining using different software, create and control Bitcoin. And let me tell you, there can only be 21 million Bitcoins. And I think 16 million Bitcoins are already in circulation. And now if we talk of Libra, it is controlled and backed by a Libra association, which Facebook says that they're not going to control because they already have, these kind of claims that they have been involved in selling data. So they say that it will be controlled by a separate non-for-profit association called Libra, based in Geneva, Switzerland, and which is also backed by 100 companies, and currently 28 companies including Spotify, Vodafone, Uber, MasterCard, Visa, they are backing them. Now coming to the second point, Libra is going to be a stable coin. Well, in case of Bitcoin, you must have heard or seen the fluctuation is so drastic. I mean, someday it is so high and someday it's so low. But in case of Libra, it's not going to be this way, because it will be backed by 100 companies who are going to have a pool of $10 billion each. This pool of reserve will maintain the value of Libra. So yes, if you invest in Libra, your worth will remain somewhat similar or with a little bit rise. But in Bitcoin, it could be anything. Now coming to the third point, that's permissionless and borderless. In case of Bitcoin, we can transact or transfer our money anywhere across the world. But in case of Libra, since it is an initiative of Facebook, which is a private company of USA, so it has to follow certain norms. And according to the USA policy, you just cannot send your money to the nations who are in the list of their sanctions. For example, North Korea, Iran, including certain people and organizations listed in FATF list. Now coming to the fourth point is security. Well, Facebook security, we are aware about of it. We'll talk about this later, but about security, I tell you that Libra is not that secure as compared to Bitcoin. See, in Bitcoin, we have many computers working together to verify and make a transaction successful. But in Libra, there be only few computers, few nodes connected, that be of Libra association alone, which can be hacked. And if these systems are hacked, one can also play with the value of Libra. Well, people are working on its security, but for now, one can speculate that Libra is less secure than Bitcoin. And moving towards the last point, that is neutrality. See, people believe in Bitcoin because it maintains anonymity. In case of Bitcoin, it doesn't matter who you are, who you're sending money to, what you're doing with your money. But Facebook, which is a private company, yet again has to follow certain laws, certain norms of that jurisdiction. So definitely they're going to know who is sending money to whom, where, and what are they doing with their money. And hence, if time comes and USA government asks for the data of people, their personal data, then these companies have to abide by the laws. But I think under this point of neutrality and anonymity, there is a downside of Bitcoin, that is, it could promote money laundering and terror funding if receiver and sender remain anonymous. So yes, I try to make it quick and let you know about the differences between Bitcoin and Libra. If you want to know more about Bitcoin, how it works, then have a look at this person, Andreas Antonopoulos. He is a Bitcoin advocate, so have a look at his work. Now coming towards the second and most important part of the video, what is the long-term purpose behind introducing Libra? So basically, when a company has moved beyond the profit making, what they try to have a global domination. They try to have control over global population, isn't it? So this is what Facebook, Amazon and Google are trying to do. But anyway, it's us who have to make our ultimate choices. It's us who decide what to do and what not to do. If things are good and provide comfort, then we eventually fall for it. Well, in its white paper, Facebook has already said that they are coming with the aim to provide a financial inclusion to the people around the world, for example, there are around 1.7 billion people without access to bank, without any credit facilities. But among those 1.7 billion, certainly 1 billion have smartphones. And what all you need to have an access to Libra is just a smartphone. So it is definitely going to be easy for these developing nations like Afghanistan, India, and South African nations to transfer their money, make purchases just with a click over their smartphone. But why are we going to do it when we already have PayPal, Paytm, Venmo like facilities? See, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, they have this chatting feature, right? So a person who is engaged more on chat will make certainly more purchases, right? And there would be ease of doing business. Now a new feature is coming in India, it's being tested, that we can make transfer on WhatsApp. And that's why WeChat in China is doing so great. Beside this, there is going to be no or zero transaction fees. See, Facebook is not looking for a short-term gain to achieve its long-term purpose. And what's its long-term purpose? Well, they do not want our money, they want our time. See, time is very important. How much time we spend on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, how engaging we are, how many ads do we see and make purchases, that's important for them. And at this time, per user values around $35 to Facebook. So they can do two things to make it more profitable, that is increase the user base or increase the value of per user, and bringing Libra can do both in the nick of time. Secondly, they want to improve their ad models, know our spending habits so that they can bombard us with those kind of ads. Thirdly, a move towards the next generation of nano transaction. Well, what is this? Basically, it's a fee-less fast transaction. Like Bitcoin can only do few transactions per second, but this can do 7,000 transactions per second. So definitely when conglomeration of such corporates are coming together, they are coming with some big purpose. It's us who need to be a little vigilant about what their purpose is and do things wisely. Otherwise, we are all aware about of the 2018 Cambridge Analytica, 2016 Russia collusion with USA elections, 2013 PRISM. In it, NSA was compiling data of people so that they can have a track on what people are doing, which was busted by Edward Snowden, made him flee his own country. Now that all said and heard, and I tell you that cryptocurrencies are banned in India. If somebody found hoarding, mining and keeping cryptocurrencies, they might be jailed for 10 years. But Supreme Court is yet to have a hearing in end of the July regarding the use of Bitcoin. But until then, I think this information was important, so I thought to impart you. So yes, this was all about today's video. It's not as simple, right? Because something massive is coming, and certainly it's going to have its positives and negatives, and it's us who hold the key. But to escape from these corporates, it's near to impossible. And for sure, Facebook's Libra is going to have a massive user base. How it's going to change the definition of money, time will only tell. Until then, stay woke.